for being here. It means a lot to all of us. Years ago, I asked Arnold Stein for a job as a deli boy. 29 years ago, I asked Arnold Stein for Sundays off so I could play golf with my dad. 27 years ago, I asked Arnold Stein for his daughter's hand. To the first question, he reluctantly said, "Let's give it a try." To the second question, he said, "Nobody gets off on Sundays." But for golf with your dad, let's give it a try. To the third question, there was no reluctance in his voice when he said, "I'm watching you." For 30 years that Arnold was a part of my life, he was first a friend, then a second father, and lastly, a mentor. I learned many of life's lessons from him. Humility and respect for the game of golf. Respect and honesty in business. And mostly, to carry oneself with dignity and pride. In the book, The Tipping Point, the author speaks of the law of the few. The few consist of the salesmen, the mavens, and the connectors. These are the people who truly drive our world. While we all have a little of each in us, the few, the chosen few, truly have a knack. Arn was definitely one of the few. The salesman's pretty self-explanatory. Many might consider Arn the consummate salesman, whether he's selling you locks or selling you on a joke. The maven is a person who knows a lot, has information and shares it. And Arn had a wealth of experience and knowledge and would share it if you asked for it. But only if you asked for it. He would never proffer unsolicited advice. The connector is just that, a person who connects people to other people. For those of us who really know Arnold Stein, know he was the connector. For those of you who may not have really known him, take a look around at this room. Arnold was a person who had people flock to him, circle upon circle. Business, golf, bridge, community, the stage. Circle upon circle. Look around. Arn, you'd be proud. Standing room only, bud. Arn had a unique way of finding the positive in everybody he encountered, and he had a way of making everyone around him feel good about themselves. I suppose this may have been his secret to his super connector skills. In the last few days that we were able to be with Arn, and when we thought that he was fading on us, he was still trying to make others feel good. When he could no longer speak, he managed to wink at Uncle Steve, who exclaimed, "Son of a gun, did he just wink at me?" And sure enough, the slightest smile would crease Arn's lips. A big smile creased ours. Sure enough, Arn making us feel better. My friend Mark sent me a text message, which had another message attached from his father-in-law, Bert Laurie, who's also a fellow Indian Springs resident. Bert's message read, "Arnie was a wonderful man, brave and upbeat, positive in every way. He was loved and admired by everyone, and he showed us the way to handle illness." Arnold connected to so many, affected so many. He showed us how to live, how to die, and how to live again through all the circles he had left behind. His favorite line was, "I'm the luckiest guy you'll ever meet." Even with all this, he said, "How lucky am I? I have no pain." Having had him for 30 years as a friend, a father, and a mentor, I now believe I am the luckiest guy you'll ever meet. I dwell in his circles, and I will hold him in my heart. Thank you.
thank you all for coming today. I want to say something funny for my dad because that's what he would want. But I just can't think of anything funny today. So I'm sorry if I'm not going to be. Last time I was with my dad, I was hoping he would give me some words of wisdom before he left us. The smartest thing he ever told me was, hey buddy, always leave them smiling. No matter what it's from, leave them with a smile. The last joke I remember him telling at dinner. Darryl once asked me, Dad, why did you name me Darryl? His punchline was, because Leroy was taken. Dad always said a few things, but every morning at this store he would say, rise and shine with Arnie Stein. And his oldest joke. So Arnie, a customer, would say, are you bringing your clubs on vacation? My dad would say, I always bring 2 bags. Mom, you're no bag. A few years ago, I was sitting with my dad at a funeral, and he said to me, while we were all waiting for it to start, should I get up and tell a few jokes? I could probably do 15 minutes and cheer everybody up. And the one thing about my dad was that he would rather us all remember him happy, laughing, and telling a joke. Recently, he grew a beard. He said, since I can't grow it on my head, I'll grow it on my face. So, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, playing Little League Baseball, my dad came to the first game, and I was so proud. Here I am out in right field. We all know who the kid is that plays right field. Anyway, bases are loaded, 1 out, batter up. I see my dad looking at me, and I'm the most proud kid in the field, because there's my dad. Kid hit a pop-up right to me. I think, oh my God, it's coming to me. I gotta catch it, make my dad proud. Sure enough, shut my eyes, put my glove up, the ball lands right in my glove. I go running in, I'm so excited. Throw the ball! Throw the ball! I'm just so excited. I didn't care about the game. My dad saw me catch a ball, and that's all that mattered. Playing golf with my dad, Northampton Country Club. He lets me drive the golf cart. It was probably around 10 or 11. I was so excited. At this point in my life, I had been dancing for a few years, and the one thing Dad always said, as smooth as you dance, that's how you should swing the club. Golf really was his favorite hobby. Oh, how as probably most kids wanted to be just like their dad. I tried to be just like him. He would turn over a box of peaches, put them up on the counter, he'd flip them over. Then I'd say, okay, now you do it. Okay, I thought to myself, Dad picked it up, flipped it over, it was that easy. Looks easy enough. Wrong. Totally wrong way. But what could be hard about putting up fruit? No one could do it like him. Maybe Papa. But even him, not sure. And oh yeah, tell a joke at the same time without losing his temper. That was Dad. He really was the funniest guy I knew. As most of you know, he never was angry and always had a joke to tell. He taught me to count the deli numbers in Yiddish, because back then on Bustleton Avenue, they called the area Little Tel Aviv. They all spoke Yiddish and thought, he must be Arnold's son that does that. I wasn't known as Darryl. I was Arnold's son, and to me that was the best compliment in the world. And then Dad would call the oldest of ladies he was waiting on girl, and that would make her smile, because she wasn't an old lady anymore. She was just a girl. And the last thing he said to me was always leave him smiling. I was in a meeting a few weeks ago. Being the new guy in the site at work, I just sat back, kept my mouth quiet, listened to what everyone had to say. When they were all finished, the manager pulled me out and said, Darryl, do you have anything to say? First time I've ever been quiet in my life. So I proceeded to tell the room to be friendlier to the computer users in the workplace, to make them smile. They'll like you. People always do business with people that make them smile and laugh. And the manager said to me, Darryl, where did you learn that? I told him my dad. And I told him about my dad and how personal he was, loved telling jokes, loved making people smile. This guy had a master's degree. When I was done telling him about my dad, he said to me, you know what, Darryl? Your dad's a pretty smart man. He loved his golf. He would work a 12-hour day,